Problem number 3. Josh and Elijah are sharing a bag of candy. Josh takes one candy, Elijah takes two candies. Then Josh takes three, Elijah takes four, and so on, each taking one more candy than the other had taken. Elijah is the last one to take the appropriate number of candies, and then the bag is empty. Elijah has 10 more candies than Josh. How many candies were in the bag? All right. Well, let's make a little table here. Let's take a look at what's happening. So, here's Josh, right? He's the first one to take a candy, and then Elijah. These guys must be brothers, right? They're like fighting with each other over candy. So, all right. So Josh takes one, and Elijah takes two. Josh takes three, and Elijah takes four. Josh takes five, and Elijah takes six. Josh takes seven, Elijah takes eight, and so on, right? And you can see after each turn, Elijah gets one more candy than Josh. After the first turn, he has one more candy, and after the second turn, he's got another one more, so he gets actually two more. All right, and again, third, he's got another one, so that's three, and he's got another one, that's four, and they keep. Oops, sorry. Oh, he has one more, and then he has a total of four. Okay, and they keep going until Elijah has 10 more candies than Josh. Okay, so you keep adding one and one and one. Okay, so how many turns is it going to take before we get to the point where Elijah has 10 more? Well, you're going to have 10 of these, Josh, Elijah, Josh, Elijah, Josh, Elijah. Okay, so you're going to have 10 sets of those. So you're going to end up with Josh taking 20 candies, and so right before that, Elijah will take 19. Okay, so we're essentially going to have all of the integers from 1 up to 20. So I can just write dot 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 dot. Okay, does that make sense? And so there's going to be 10 of these turns. Okay, 10 of these, right? So if we call this a turn, so or a round or something where Josh takes one and Elijah takes two. That's one round. All right, Josh takes three, Elijah takes four. That's the second round, and you go through 10 rounds of that, and Elijah will end up with 10 more than Josh. Okay, and at the end of 10 rounds, Elijah will take 20 and Josh will take 19. Okay, so basically Josh takes all the odds and Elijah takes all the evens. And in order to figure out how many candies were in the bag, essentially you've got to add up the series 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 all the way up to 20. Okay? Plus 20. Does that make sense? Because the number of candies in the bag was 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 and so on until you get to 20. All right, because Elijah took the last number of candies from the bag, and he took the appropriate number according to the pattern, it says. So he must have taken 20. All right, so we have a series of numbers we've got to add up, 1 through 20. Now you could go, you could sit down and add, 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6, plus 4 is 10, and go through that. But there's a quicker way to do that. And if you watch my video on arithmetic series, or Gaussian addition, I think is what it's called, you learned a quick little formula for doing this, and that is that you take the first number plus the last number, so that's 20 plus 1, right? The first plus the last, times the number of numbers. And we start with 1 and we go to 20, so we have 20 numbers. and then we divide that by 2. Alright, so we end up with 21 times 10. Alright, if we divide this by 2, which gives us 210 candies. Right? So that's the quick way to add these numbers. And the way to see why that works is if you call this S, that's the sum. And if you write that same sum as 20 plus 19 plus 18 plus 17 plus all the way down to 1, and you add those two sums up, you get 21 plus 21 plus 21 plus 21, oops, all the way down to 21, right? So you've got 21, you've got to add a series of 21s, and how many do you have to add? You have to add 20 of them, right? Because you're going to have 1 all the way to 20. So this ends up being 20 times 21, all right? But that is, we've added both of these lists. So we've taken 2 S's and added them together. So this is 2 times S, all right? And so this is 2 times too many. So in order to get S, the sum, we have to take 20 times 21 all over 2, okay? And that gives us the same thing. All right, so that's a good way to see how it works. But after you've done this a number of times, you'll know the formula, and that is it's the first number in the list. Now this works only for arithmetic series. Okay, so and an arithmetic series is one where the difference between consecutive numbers is the same. All right, in this case it's just 1. Okay, so but when you have an arithmetic series, you can just take the first number plus the last number times the number of numbers divided by 2. Okay, so that's a good formula to know, but I guess I don't necessarily recommend that you just memorize a formula. Okay, sometimes it's better to think about what you're doing, rather than just plug numbers into a formula. And in this case, it's easy enough for me anyway, it's easier to remember the logic behind it than it is to remember the formula. I don't know. Maybe I'm not that good at memorizing, but I'm better at remembering reasons for things. So either way, if you use it enough, you'll just remember the formula, and you won't take the time to do all this. But make sure you understand how where this formula comes from. All right, so this is our answer. We have 210 candies, right? It's just the sum of the numbers from 1 to 20. And there you go.